We do know the path we must take. Now we must take action together to fight, deconstruct racism, to develop anti-racist policies, to fight stereotypes, to foster diversity.
Just as we need a vaccine to protect against the disease, we need education to fight against prejudice and hatred.
COVID is just a mirror, but we don't like what we see in that mirror, and thus we want to change it.
The education of humanity for justice and liberty and peace are indispensable to the dignity of man and constitute a sacred duty which all the nations must fulfill in a spirit of mutual assistance and concern. Taking this opportunity, I would like to emphasize the value of global citizenship education as a solid basis on which we can push ahead with all these programs.
Systemic racism needs a systemic response.
If we do not take concrete steps, we allow racism to be entrenched.
This is where I see our role in creating opportunities for people to transform their societies from the bottom up.
Social and Human Sciences sector of UNESCO and the Republic of Korea really wanted to be able to have a conversation in order that ideas could be contributed, that a roadmap be found, in order that concrete action can be taken.
The only way to undo racism is to constantly identify it and describe it, and then dismantle it.
Cultural diversity is the core component of a successful cultural ecosystem.
La diversidad de los seres humanos constituye nuestro más grande tesoro.
Racism, as it goes hand in hand with especially right-wing extremism.
인권위는 국가인권기구로서 혐오와 차별에 대항하는 정책 방향과 대안을 제시하고 국가의 정책을 견인하는 한편 사회적인 역량을 결집시키는 역할을 충실히 수행할 것입니다.
If any tool is to be successfully implemented, it would require buy-in of everyone concerned.
Accueillir la parole et les propositions des citoyens et des associations qui sont engagées sur ce sujet.
UNESCO's Global Citizenship Program contributes precisely to this goal. It's precisely about providing students with the knowledge, the values, the skills they need to act for human rights and equality, and to build a better society.
The solemnity and passion of this piece is, I believe, an ideal way to express what so many of us feel when we think of what is possible in today's world.
Le racisme est un iceberg. Ce que nous voyons et que nous combattons souvent, ce sont les discriminations, c'est-à-dire les manifestations extérieures qu'il faut combattre par la loi, la justice, le droit, l'économie.
Alors qu'une des caractéristiques des humains est l'empathie, la capacité de ressentir les émotions des autres.
The racism can't be understood in terms of biology or ideologies about biology.
También observamos que cuando se produce una crisis, como la crisis económica de 2008 o la pandemia de COVID de 2020, la actitud positiva retrocede.
We also need to develop the ability to think from the perspectives of others.
Et dans ce sens, je pense que le racisme est une violation fondamentale du droit à l'existence, du droit à la vie. Ce n'est pas une opinion, c'est un crime.
One of my objectives as president will be to encourage our members to adopt policies that tackle gender and racial inequality.
I pretty much lay out a three-stage process: education, conversation, action, in that order.
It's a human right that humans, no matter which gender you are, you have equal access to opportunities for your life, for your careers.
We're not doing enough to mobilize young people, not recognizing that young people are already mobilizing, self-mobilizing.
We need affirmative action to lower the barrier of entry for women towards leadership positions.
We perform better when we are diverse. We perform better when we have different voices.
Apparemment, les gens qui aimaient les gens de couleur n'avaient pas de couleur. Apparemment, seuls les gens de couleur avaient une couleur.
Establecer políticas concretas y participar cada vez que podamos en estos espacios para contar, experiencias nuestras.
Legislation makes a difference, that making policies in response to dramatic events makes a difference.
When you bring all the stakeholders together, we develop what is called a strategic plan, then we ultimately can and will address this issue.
Therefore, it's very clear that child labor and exploitation of children is not merely an economic issue. This is a serious issue of racial discrimination.
Creo que desde las ciudades tenemos que hacer este frente común por los derechos humanos, contra el racismo, contra la discriminación.
The stamps were issued in recognition of the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, which is held annually on 21 March.
We will continue the effort, we will continue the work. Under the guidance of our member states, we will build a roadmap. The leadership of the government of Korea and all of the friends of this agenda in UNESCO, we will be producing the scanning on what works and what doesn't, and we will also be producing the toolkit hand in hand with our members.
Enfin, une troisième piste qui a été évoquée aussi ici, c'est l'éducation contre le racisme, sous toutes les formes.
Ethno-racial discrimination also imposes huge costs of our economies.
Our dream, in fulfilling the dream, will be that when COVID is gone, racism will be also gone.